Developing tonight, an ugly new twist in the ad wars between Donald Trump and Governor Jeb Bush. Watch.
We have an important choice to make about the direction of our country. If you want more D.C. politicians or more self-promoters, you've got options. Anybody can talk. I've delivered, and I hope to earn your support.
Having trouble sleeping at night? Too much energy? Need some low energy?
May have an HSA in some companies don't. But I think the norm ought to be
Jeb, for all your sleeping needs.
Oh, that one hurt. That had to hurt. Mark Thiessen is here, former chief presidential speechwriter for George W. Bush. You tell me which one was more effective.
Oh, my gosh, Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump is having a field day with Jeb Bush right now. I mean, he shows a picture of a woman falling asleep at a Bush rally and has him as an alternative for insomnia. Then
and Jeb Bush's team is coming out and saying, she had a long day, she's a working mom, she woke up at 5. It's like, that doesn't fix it.
Exactly. And then he had an ad the other day showing Bush's mother saying, well, he shouldn't run. We haven't enough Bushes. And the tagline was, "Mother knows best, Jeb." I mean, he's like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack taking pot shots at Judge Smales. It's just horrible.
So Bush responds by, doing this pre-produced ad where he looks sort of, I guess what he thinks is presidential and sort of like, I am the serious candidate and not a self-promoter. Effective at all?
No, not at all. I mean, number one, taking on Donald Trump for being a self-promoter. I mean, this is a guy who has buildings across America with his name lit up in gold. I mean, people know he's a self-promoter. They're supporting him anyway. So self-promoter isn't a good attack. And then second of all, who advised Jeb Bush to say, I'm offering something new? When your name is Bush, you're not offering something new. You're offering a third Bush term. So I don't know how that's an effective ad. And
what is Jeb supposed to do? What can he do? Because he tried not fighting. Now he's trying fighting. What is he supposed to be doing differently?
Well, he's got to fight, but it's very hard. I mean, we're in a situation where, it's that Monmouth poll that you were citing with Ben Carson showed 67% of Republicans want someone with no government experience who's going to shake up Washington. Only 26% say they want somebody with government experience who can get things done. Jeb Bush's ad is called "I Delivered." It's about how he got things done. It's the exact opposite message of what the Republican electorate wants. So when 67% of Republicans want an outsider, it's a really, really hard year to be named Bush.
Certainly is. And this is from a man who used to work for President Bush, although
I love President Bush, and I love Jeb, but it's a very, very hard year to be running as a Bush.
You love him the way Trump loves him. I love Jeb Bush. However, he sucks. Great to see you, Mark. That's Trump.
Thanks, Megan.
In other news, Hillary Clinton spoke with ABC News tonight and seemed to offer an apology, sort of, for not using 2 email accounts while Secretary of State. It was all on her personal. That was one day after she said she would not apologize.
I should have used 2 accounts, one for personal, one for work-related emails. That was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I take responsibility. And I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can.
Dana Perino is co-host of The Five, former White House press secretary for President George W. Bush and author of the book And the Good News Is. So I will not apologize. I'm sorry.
That was yesterday morning.
What happened?
There was a poll. In fact, I really do think that the more that they poll test this, and they actually said in the New York Times story that they've been focus grouping and talking about Hillary and what could be done. And I think that both on the email side of things and on the broader strategy, they have poll tested it to death. And now she's going to have scripted spontaneity.
That's what they told the New York Times. Now everything's she's going to be all about spontaneity, just as pre-planned as it can be.
Absolutely. And
including this. Okay, so you tell me whether this is authentic or not. One of the things that her team said was, we really want her to show more heart. Cue the violins.
And she told me every day, you've got to get up and fight for what you believe in, no matter how hard it is. And I think about her a lot. I miss her a lot. I wish she were here with me. And I remember that.
Oh.
Totally unplanned.
I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't think that those tears were absolutely planned, but I do think that her team has been talking to her so much to say, you should be more like you are when you were behind closed doors with us. You should show more heart, do this, do that. The thing is, it shouldn't have to be this way. She has $2 billion in the bank, all the grassroots support she could ever hope for, her husband's vast political network. She has experience that she could fall back on, and instead, she's just constantly churned up in the email scandal. And every 6 weeks, like clockwork, the New York Times writes a piece about how the Hillary campaign is going to reboot, and now she's going to be transparent.
Stirewalt says her campaign is making all of the familiar gasping and gurgling that emanates from a failing effort. Is it that bad?
Chris Stirewalt has a way with words.
Gurgling. Oh.
Floundering and foundering is another a phrase that he used with me today.
Let's face it. She's still by far the most likely person to be the Democratic
She is,
nominee.
but can I point out one thing? In New Hampshire and Iowa, she has spent $13.8 million in the last month. Her numbers are now at a 23-year low. She's lost 18 points between Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's not going in the right direction.
Last time in New Hampshire, she cried, and then she won New Hampshire. We'll see. I mean, it might be a little too early. We'll find. Sorry. It may have been sincere. It was a nice moment.
Sorry, not sorry.
Up next, those two football players in big trouble.